guys, welcome back to the video. Today we are going to be ranking the top universities in America. As someone who has attended a total of 1 university in her life, I would say that I'm pretty qualified in ranking all of the universities.
Hold up, wait a minute.
As you can tell already, this video is kind of a joke. I'm also like not going to take this video too seriously, so don't take this video too seriously either. I did wanted to share a really cool opportunity. So I have recently got involved with the launch of DOESHI, which is a one-on-one consulting for college admissions where you get to speak with a college student virtually about whatever you want, honestly. It can be tailored exactly to you. It's just like college consulting, right? These are students from top universities like MIT, Stanford, Yale. Get this. This is the part that's super exciting. It is only $10. You get $10 for a 30-minute session with a student from an elite college, and like that's crazy to me. And personally, I think that this is so important because I had no idea how to evaluate colleges, honestly. I had a college counselor, and even so, like I had to really reach out to my friends who were already in college and kind of ask them questions that I had because I just didn't even know. I had no idea what to expect for college or what different colleges were or even what I should value when I was looking for colleges. The founder of DOESHI is really just trying to give back and help people out. So I would really try to take advantage of this promotional offer, especially because like these kinds of things are so expensive usually. I think this is such a valuable experience. I think that you can learn so much more talking to an actual student versus just like trying to Google and looking at like college reviews or even what that school says about themselves, because obviously it's going to be good. I just wanted to share that with you. I will personally be on the platform as someone you can talk to, and of course 100% refund if you are not satisfied with your chit chat. But anyways, that is it for my little spiel. I really encourage you to check it out. All the information will be in the description box, and without further ado, let us start ranking some colleges. We're just gonna do the standard ranking. We have S tier, and then we have A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm not actually sure how far down it goes, but we're gonna say Z. No, that's like too many letters. A, B, C, D. So let's get started. So the first college that we're gonna do is the #1 university, MIT. As you know, I am a second year at MIT, and I think that school is the bomb.
You're faking a fraud.
No complaints, that's a lie. There are definitely plenty of complaints. It's really hard. People are really smart. You're probably gonna be the stupidest person in your friend group like I was. But at the end of the day, MIT is pretty darn cool. If you're trying to push yourself, like the MIT bubble is the place to be. Like you won't even think that you're pushing yourself to work harder because it just like becomes the norm. Like that's becomes like what's expected of you. So MIT, S tier. We got Harvard. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Harvard. I love the people at Harvard, but at the same time, I just don't like Harvard. I feel like people go to Harvard because it's Harvard and for no other good reason. Maybe it's because like there's like an MIT Harvard rivalry, or maybe I just think there's an MIT Harvard rivalry and maybe that doesn't actually exist. Harvard does have a stigma of being like super elitist, and of course, let's not forget how exclusive their parties are. We're gonna give it a C tier because it is a really good school. This is really hard to justify. I just wanna give them a C, and I don't wanna have to tell you why. But as we know, grade inflation be big. If their true value is a C, I can give them an F and they'll self-grade inflate themselves to a C. So therefore, I'll put them back in the F. But it's right next to MIT. By the translative property, they get a B but not as good as MIT.
Huh?
Anyways, I don't know what to say about that. Harvard's cool. If you like Harvard, go to Harvard. I applied to Harvard and got waitlisted. So honestly, maybe that's why I'm salty, because I didn't get into Harvard. That's the tea. We have UPenn. I feel like me talking about UPenn is gonna kind of expose why I'm really not qualified for this video. One of my friends went there, but he got into UPenn and everyone was like, oh my gosh, you got into UPenn. And I was like, what's UPenn? So like, it's a really good school, but I like didn't even know what it was and I had never heard of it. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if you're looking for an elitist like school, you go to UPenn, you know? If you're looking for a school where like daddy's got money, you go to UPenn. I do feel like UPenn has kind of a snaky vibe to them. I don't know. Social Ivy is what Google said. I don't know what that means. Did Google even say that? I just wrote that down in my notes. Next up, we have Yale. Again, we're gonna use the translative property because, oh my gosh, wait. I didn't even rate UPenn. I think UPenn should get a C as well. A lot of people do say that it's like a very snaky school. Oh my god, but I don't like roasting schools on camera because I'm not trying to get hate, you know? Like, okay, honestly, like, let's be real. It all depends on your major. Next up, we have, oh, I didn't even give UPenn a letter still. B, they're a B. I think UPenn should get a C as well. B, they're a B. Yale, as we all know, our beloved Rory Gilmore went to Yale. So by that already gives Yale an A, right? I really like the people who go there. I feel like they are very nice, very helpful, very honest, and very hardworking. And of course, as we all know, the enemy of my enemy is thy friend. Harvard-Yale rivalry, translative property, A plus B is C. Next up, we have Brown. So Brown, I know nothing about Brown. There is the stereotype at Yale that everyone's like a chill, weed smoking, like hippie tree hugger.
I know that's right.
That's not negative at all. I'm not saying that in a negative way at all. Like, it is the liberal arts Ivy though, which I think is really cool. I personally would never pursue liberal arts because that's just not my passion. But if you are trying to do liberal arts, like Brown is the place to go. Every school's got their vibe or their niche in the college world. And I feel like a lot of the top schools and like are kind of in one same niche. But Brown's like got its own niche. Brown is very important, and so Brown should get an A. I also have not given any school but MIT S, which is very biased of me. Next, we have Cornell. So I know people hate on Cornell as being an honorary mention Ivy League, but mad respect for people who go to Cornell. I'm gonna be honest, it is kind of giving off the vibes of a party school. I personally did not apply to Cornell. I have really good things to say about Cornell. Let us not forget, that is where Cornell notes originated. And personally, I didn't really like Cornell notes. Why would I take Cornell notes? It took up like twice as much space, and I didn't really enjoy learning how to take Cornell notes. Cornell notes are great. Cornell gets a B. Actually, Cornell should get an S. No. Cornell gets a C. That's it. The next one is Stanford, easily mistaken as Stanford University. It is right next to Silicon Valley. It is the prettiest school ever. Like, oh my gosh, I'm in Hawaii right now, and let me tell you, the environment you live in, the weather you live in, the buildings that surround you do so much to make you a happier person in life. Unfortunately, what I don't like about Stanford is that if you go to Stanford, at some point in your life, you're probably gonna start a startup. I don't have any hate against people who start a startup. Startup-y people are very intense. So I feel like the top three, you know, are like, oh, they're like MIT, Stanford, Harvard. I think MIT's top, Stanford second, and Harvard. But also the other thing about Stanford is, Matt, again, I love my friends from Stanford, but I feel like people at Stanford are pretty goal-oriented. Like, they have a career goal and they're gonna work for it. Like that, like they're just honing in on their career goal. One thing that people always talk about at Stanford is the floating duck syndrome, where it's like on the top you just look like a floating duck, like you're chilling, you're vibing, but at the bottom you're like paddling for your life. The idea is like you're working like crazy hard and like struggling, but at the top you just seem normal. I need to know that I'm not the only one struggling. Stanford gets a B. The next one that we have is UC Berkeley. Let us just talk about how UC Berkeley rejected me. So automatic F. But real talk, I just feel like Berkeley is so darn competitive. I don't know, it's just so toxic. California is so expensive to live in. Let's not talk about Berkeley goggles. So if you don't know what Berkeley goggles are, it is, look it up on Urban Dictionary, or it's the idea that like when you go to Berkeley, because everyone's so ugly, it just means like you lower your standards because everyone's like not that attractive. And before anyone gives me hate for saying this, people have said MIT goggles before, and as a member of MIT, that affects me. So Berkeley gets an F. Honestly, why did I do this video? I'm so unqualified for this video. I didn't even apply to half the schools I'm talking about. The second UC that I'm gonna talk about is UChicago, aka UChicago. 1, crime in Chicago is kind of high. 2, weather in Chicago is kind of bad. 3, essays for UChicago are really whack. Someone I know wrote about, or maybe it was an example essay, wrote about like taking a pill so that you wouldn't have to pee. I would have written like a pill that makes me grow taller, cause. So I guess UChicago gets a C. I think there's nothing in the C, so I want to make sure everything has something. So I feel like that you should look for in a college are collaboration. Like, are you the type of person that likes to work with other people a lot, or maybe not so much? What's your major? Like, obviously. Anyways, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will catch you.